Start tonight with yet another study on Project Marvel as San Antonio leaders consider how they're going to finance a new Spurs arena and a downtown entertainment district. Mayor Gina Ortiz says that she wants yet another study to look at how Project Marvel is going to impact the local economy. Now, to be clear, studies on this have been done, but the mayor just thinks they're not thorough enough. Last week, she urged the council to take a pause on Project Marvel, but the majority of council members supported moving forward on continuing negotiations with the Spurs. Today, Mayor Jones doubled down on her push for a pause and also another study. She says that that could happen at the same time that the city gathers more information from the Spurs.
That kind of analysis, I think, is really just the starting point for us to have a conversation. While I don't know how much the new Spurs arena is going to cost, they have asked for 1.3, 1.5 billion. And while we do not yet know how they intend to guarantee some of those the developments, this is what I do know. CPS and SAWS will come to City Council next year asking for a rate increase. Okay. The first bond to support infrastructure related to the downtown development will be 220 to 250 million.
So a lot of those details are still in flux. The city still needs to nail down exactly how much public money could go towards that project. Leaders don't need voters to approve that, but in Bexar County, they do, because county leaders decided that county voters are going to be deciding whether to use a tax on hotel stays and car rentals to San Antonio to help pay for a new arena. Project Marvel supporters say that that is a tax on visitors. Now we're going to take things outside and give you a live look at traffic, my friends. You know it's 5 o'clock. You expect there to be a lot of traffic. Not really the case right now. 281 at Loop 410. This is really nothing out of the ordinary. You see the vehicles there getting on that ramp. Kind of slow going, but it's what you could expect at this hour. No accidents to tell you about right now.
And for back to school, right? Usually you see more traffic.
Yeah.
That wasn't so bad, all things considered. I don't want to jinx it for everybody out there, though. You look at authority radar, not much activity. And honestly, quite frank, I was expecting a little more than what we have had out there over the past hour or so. It's mainly been out near Hallettsville and Lavaca County. Just look at the past hour, and we had a couple little pop-ups. Maybe we need to look at the past 2 hours. Then you'll really see some of that activity that was out there. There we go. Highly isolated and very slow movers. Really didn't move much at all. They basically popped up in one spot near Hallettsville, rained a little bit, then rained themselves out. We go farther to the west, switching radar sites so we can have a higher resolution look at some of this activity in parts of the hill country. Even a little bit of lightning here. That's south of Rock Springs, and especially just over the past hour, this activity has just developed and popped up. So just outside of Lakey, you saw the big thundercloud off in the distance, just missed Lakey, and now it's south of Rock Springs. And this isn't going to last very long. A little bit of lightning and thunder. If you're lucky, a quick half-inch or so from some of these downpours, and we have more rainfall opportunities in the days ahead. We could still have more development this afternoon and into the evening, don't get me wrong, all the way through sunset. Then a 30% chance tomorrow, 20% chances then Wednesday through Saturday. Tropical Storm Erin right now. We're going to talk more about that, where it's going in just a bit.
All right, Adam, thank you. Another news now, the city of Ingram approved a new emergency warning system for their area. As you know, this comes more than a month after deadly floods swept through that town of Ingram and also several other surrounding cities. Our Zaria Oates was there as Ingram City Council members voted. Right now, she joins us live from Ingram City Park. And Zaria, here's the question for you. There was a moment during the session when council went back and forth over the system, but they ultimately approved it. Can you tell us more about that?
The biggest thing that a lot of those city council officials wanted to see are flood sensors added on to these warning systems. They said that they want to be able to know automatically when the water is rising in the Guadalupe River so that they know if there is a threat to the community, especially to the people who are out enjoying the river. However, that's just not something that's going to happen right now. The company that the city of Ingram is working with to install these flood sirens in Ingram tells me that the people and the entities that help establish those flood sensors that add on to the sirens haven't been able to come out and survey the area in Ingram, and therefore they haven't been able to put together a design. We actually got a message into our newsroom just a few minutes ago that they still haven't been able to get out here, but that is something that can happen in phase 2 of these sirens being installed. Now, another thing, taxpayer dollars. The mayor of Ingram tells me that taxpayers should not anticipate a tax increase solely because of these sirens. They said that they do expect for the funding for these flood warning systems to come from another budget. Senator Pete Flores allegedly told multiple city council members that he will find the funding for these floodwater systems.
We never had a flood like this before, and we lost a life. We don't want any more loss of life.
My goal would be to educate the public of the importance of having a siren that only goes off when it's important, when there's something from the National Weather Service. It's no weather service, they know it's coming. But if you don't have a siren or an app, how are you going to know?
The companies and agencies working to install these flood warning systems here in Ingram tell me that they are working to expedite this process. They say it normally takes several weeks, up to 14 weeks, but they're going to try to get it done within 7 weeks of that funding actually coming through. Live in Ingram, I'm Zaria Oates.
You in the loop when it comes to that. Now, new at 5, one person is dead after a shooting on the west side. And this is what the scene looked like just before 3 p.m. today near the intersection of Coronado Avenue and Ceralvo Street. San Antonio police say that while officers were conducting a traffic stop nearby, they heard several shots. And then when they got to that scene, they found a person on the street with several gunshot wounds. SAPD investigators say that this appeared to be some kind of a drive-by shooting. At last check, a suspect has not been identified. A gunshot wound and a head injury? A gas station clerk is recovering tonight after a gunman tried to rob the gas station where she was working last night. She was just working when this happened. Happened at a Valero gas station near I-35 and Thousand Oaks Drive. San Antonio police say that the suspect shot the victim in the arm and then hit her on the head with his gun after she pepper sprayed him. Officers say the man was wearing dark-colored clothing and left the scene in a black Mazda. When it was all over, a car was in flames and someone was dead. Investigators say that it all started when a driver refused to stop for police. Alamo Heights, Terrell Hills, and San Antonio police all responding to a chase. They say the driver was speeding and then crashed into a stone pillar near Joint Base San Antonio, Fort Sam Houston. And that vehicle wound up catching fire. Military police from the base, they pulled the driver out, but a passenger didn't make it. And according to a San Antonio police report, both the driver and the passengers in the car were found to be intoxicated. SAPD says the driver could be charged with intoxication manslaughter. New details at 5. The state's legislative stalemate has yet to be resolved. Nothing's changed. Members of the Texas House of Representatives were once again unable to reach a quorum. And this is coming after Democrats fled the state last week in order to stop a Republican-led redistricting effort. That effort could potentially result in another 5 U.S. House seats turning Republican during the 2026 midterms.
Those bills are set to be on the floor tomorrow. And I know those of us present are eager to take action on them. The only thing standing between Texas and real disaster relief is whether our absent colleagues decide to show up tomorrow.
That remains to be seen. The standoff is happening in the midst of a special legislative session in Texas. Absent lawmakers could be fined $500 for every day that they're not in session. That's what's happening in Washington, D.C. Protesters upset after President Trump announced that the federal government is going to be taking over the local police department. Why they're against it and why the president says he's doing this. So as we go to commercial, or we're about to, here's a live look outside. 98 degrees out there. We're keeping our fingers crossed for rain chances, but meteorologist Adam Caskey is trying to be optimistic. He's going to join us after the break. He's tracking some showers. We're going to check in with him right after the break. Don't go away. Coming up tonight on the 6 o'clock news, first they faced a deadly flood, and now it's the financial aftermath. How Kerr County is trying to balance its budget without raising taxes, and why the county judge says that may only work for this year. Also, Narcan, we know this, can save someone's life if they're overdosing on opioids or they've been poisoned by fentanyl. But the medication, not always easy to find. So a group of moms who lost their kids to fentanyl poisoning set up a free dispenser, and we're going to tell you where that is.
You're going to have a lot of essentially military, and we will bring in the military if it's needed.
The Trump administration declaring a crime emergency in Washington, D.C. The president just sent 800 National Guard troops to the Capitol. Now, the Army sent a statement saying that between 100 to 200 Guard members will be out supporting local law enforcement, and they're going to be helping with things like administrative work, logistics, and they're also going to be out on the streets. The president claimed that D.C. crime rates have spiraled out of control. However, police data shows that crime in the city is actually down by 7% since last year. And when it comes to violent crime, it dropped 26%, hitting a 30-year low back in January. So some D.C. residents are protesting the federal takeover.
If Trump cared about our safety, he would stop mass firings of federal workers. Taking away our jobs, our families' jobs, that isn't safety.
So under the law, the president can take over the D.C. Police Department for up to 30 days. And if he wants to extend that, Congress has to approve it. Back here at home, we have shared story after story about the dedicated volunteers who showed up to help after the deadly July 4th floods. And there's one of them, a special one. That's Lisa Heber. She recently died from heart complications while she was volunteering in the Hill Country. And let me tell you about Lisa. She did incredible work. She was a military nurse for decades. She also volunteered after major disasters. And her family told us that she died while doing exactly what she loved.
One of the last discussions I had with her was she was saying that she felt that there was more that could have and should have been done for the people of Sandy Creek, and that's why she wanted to stay and help.
What a wonderful person. Lisa's daughter also says that her mom spent her days in the Hill Country gathering supplies, also providing IVs for people there who needed them. May she rest in peace. Hundreds of thousands of you rent your homes, so you need to know your rights. And the city of San Antonio wants to help you with that. It's working with the Neighborhood and Housing Services Department and also the Fair Housing Council of Texas to hold a renters' rights information session. People who go can learn more about eviction, repairs, fair housing, and other issues. That session starts at 5:30 tomorrow at Walker Ranch Senior Center. The address is on your screen, 835 West Rhapsody Drive. It's an exciting time for the local kiddos. Students are slowly returning to school after a nice summer break. Many of you shared adorable back to school pictures with us on KSAT Connect, so we can't wait to give you a preview. Here they are. Oh, check that out. Some students are returning for their senior year of high school. Others, looking at that, start a new journey as they enter pre-K. Now, we want to thank all of you for sharing your pictures with us. We enjoy this. We really can't get enough of them. You can share them through KSAT Connect, and you could scan the QR code on your screen to get connected with KSAT Connect. And again, thank you so much for sharing these moments with us. We appreciate it. Speaking of back to school, more students are expected to return either this week, next week. If you're wondering when the first day of school is for your student, well, don't worry, because we have you covered. Scan that QR code. It'll take you to our web article that lists all of the start dates for all of the Bexar County and surrounding school districts. And you know what this means too, right? When we talk about back to school season, yeah, back to those Friday night lights. We're here at KSAT. We're gearing up for the 2025 KSAT Pigskin Classic. This year, Sotomayor is going to take on Clark. It's all happening on August 28th at Fair Stadium, which is on the northwest side of town. Kickoff is set to start for 7 o'clock that night, and we hope that you could join us there to watch the action in person. But if you can't watch it, you can't go there in person, don't worry. We have you covered on KSAT, KSAT Plus, KSAT.com, also our BGC app. And don't miss the fun right before the game, because our KSAT sports team will be with KSAT Game Day starting at 6:30 p.m. Trust me, You don't want to miss it. Now, I can't help it, Adam, if I'm thinking about the kiddos who are also doing two-a-days. I definitely feel for them.
Yes, and their activities, they started earlier in August for band practice and football and all that. That's underway now. And weather-wise, it has been worse this time of year, years past. And we're not actually overly hot. We're a degree or two above average. That's about it. But we're still sailing right under triple digits. And here's the key, too. We have daily afternoon shower chances at about 20 to 30%. Now, the rain, quick ½ to an inch in some of the luckiest neighborhoods. And that's going to be a limited amount of neighborhoods. But that's what you can expect basically every afternoon, these puffy clouds, a few of them building and then dropping some brief rain. Of course, we're watching the tropics. Tropical storm Erin in the Atlantic. Very quiet on authority radar right now. We still have a few hours where we could have some development. These little green areas are just little bits of clutter on the radar screen. But we head off to the west, and that's where we have some appreciable rain over the past hour or two, particularly in Edwards County. Switching radar sites for a higher resolution look there, and we'll put this over the past couple of hours. And you see even a little bit of lightning that has popped up within some of these downpours just south of Rock Springs and near Juneau in Valverde County. Very rural parts that could use the rain and are just getting a quick splash and dash downpour. Here's our futurecast. Again, next couple of hours, we still could see some development around town. And I know the futurecast is indicating that. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee. And also, as we get into tomorrow and you watch this futurecast, don't pay close attention to the exact placement of the showers. Just the coverage of the rain, I think, is what this represents the best. But by 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow, we could have a few showers popping up, even in or around somewhere near Bexar County, and then off and on through the afternoon and early evening, basically through sunset. Our primary window of opportunity is 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. for any of the potential showers and downpours here and there. Some of them could even have a little bit of lightning, but nothing severe, nothing really strong or damaging. Weak upper level swirl overhead. That's helping out. The big blue H, the upper high, that's over Southern California. That's why we're not hitting triple digits daily, and we actually have the potential for a few showers every day. Not just here, but other parts of Texas as well. You see from Midland to San Angelo some development, and actually I think North Texas will see higher rainfall potential over the coming days than around here. All right, Tropical Storm Erin, just off the coast of Africa. It's just developing and strengthening. The steering flow, we have some upper level highs, and they have that clockwise circulation. So they're basically going to push this due west throughout this week, slowly moving westward. And then as we get into the weekend, by Saturday, it does look like this will go somewhere between the east coast of the U.S. and Bermuda. It is highly unlikely that it would make it to the Gulf of Mexico, partially because we have a new upper level high that's going to be taking overhead. And this upper level high, that's basically going to block out any potential tropical storm or hurricane. But Erin is expected to become a hurricane over the next couple of days. Again, the exact path, uncertain, but I would bet that it's going to be somewhere roughly from around Bermuda to the eastern coast of the U.S., anywhere within that area. 98 right now. So far, that's our high today. 98 Kerrville, 96 Eagle Pass, 99 Lavernia and Bulverde. Bernie or 91 and Divine at triple digits. By 9 o'clock, we're 88 degrees tomorrow. We start the day at 77, 97 in the afternoon, and a 20 to 30% chance, again, of some of those pop-up brief downpours. And these extra clouds in the sky should keep us under 100 until Sunday. Then triple digits return.
All the way down, right? Below 100, yeah. You know what I love about this time of year? It's the excitement, it's the possibility. And that's exactly the kind of attitude that you would need to get up to play football at midnight, right?
Yeah, because football practice, it can drag on at times. So getting up at midnight, probably not the easiest thing to do to practice football, but at the same time, it is very exciting, and it's now a midnight tradition for the Lanier Vokes. And in college football, the Texas Longhorns, they are #1 in the AP. Coming up. With Metallica playing on the speakers, Lanier football held midnight practice in big board sports. Surrounded by family and friends, Lanier hit the football field for midnight practice as they get ready for big game coverage. The Vokes went 5-6 last season, advancing to the first round of the playoffs. They went 3-3 in district play. This season, they are predicted to win District 12 5AD2 by Dave Campbell's Texas Football, followed by Burbank, Sam Houston, and Jefferson. The Vokes have 16 starters coming back, 8 on each side of the ball, and they are ready to go and happy to hit the field at midnight.
We pride ourselves in tradition, right? And since we started last year, we're like, we got to continue it. So, but again, our kids work hard, and it's something that's deserving for them. And so we're just glad to put it on for them, and the community's super excited about it as well. So
it was amazing. It's something new that came to the Lanier, and yeah.
Just is it special the community showing out tonight just to support y'all?
Yes, sir, because our community's strong. The West Side's all together, and they show up to every game, every celebration like this.
It feels good, it's our second year doing it. The community came out and showed love, and we're thankful for that, and, it feels good.
Lanier will open the season on the road Friday, August 29th at Corpus Christi King at 7 p.m. And it's almost time for the 2025 KSAT Pigskin Classic. On Thursday, August 28th at Ferris Stadium, Sotomayor will face Clark for the first game of the season. The game will be broadcast live on KSAT 12 and streamed live on KSAT Plus, the Big Game Coverage app, and KSAT.com. We'll have coverage throughout the week leading up to kickoff, including a 30-minute pregame show starting at 6:30 p.m. Big news in college football. For the first time ever, the Texas Longhorns are kicking off the season ranked #1 in the Associated Press Top 25, but it wasn't a runaway. The Longhorns narrowly edged out Penn State by just 5 points, making it the closest preseason vote we've seen since 1998. So Texas is #1 with 25 first-place votes. Penn State is second, followed by Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia, rounding out the top 5. Texas will play at Ohio State Saturday, August 30th. As for some notables, SMU is number 16. Texas A&M is 19, and Texas Tech comes in at number 23. We'll be right back.
I want to point out in the Atlantic, we do have Tropical Storm Erin just off the west coast of Africa on the far right-hand side of your screen, then a 10% chance of development from those little yellow areas. So unlikely we'll see anything else develop right now and over the next few days, other than Erin turning into a hurricane. Typically, activity ramps up this time of year and then peaks September 10th in the Atlantic Basin. As for around here, a few afternoon showers,